All right, guys, welcome to our call tonight. I don't want to waste much time. Let me get my distractions off here. So I wanted to introduce you guys to LeeAnne Ruff. I have gotten to work with her. She is the creator of Coach Basics, and that's where I believe I first met her. We worked on that, and I had just had the twins, and I was in a complete blur. And then I came back for Emerald to Diamond training and was much more involved in that one. And so I've been able to work on those test groups as she's created all that content that you guys are able to use and create your own Coach Basics and your own Emerald to Diamonds. She is the director of training and field development at Beachbody out of Santa Monica. And she also does the 3 vital behavior training, which you can see come to your town. She is actually coming to Arizona here in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually hosting that event, so that'll be really awesome. I'm excited. I actually have not been a part of a 3 vital behavior training just yet, but I'm excited for that. So with that said, I will let her take over. She's going to talk to you guys about recruiting and building a team and all that good stuff. So welcome, LeeAnne.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for having me. You guys are so blessed to have such an amazing leader, someone who's so dedicated to your success. Yes, it was through pilot groups that I got to know Lindsay. And those pilot groups were leaders who raised their hand and stepped up and wanted to be involved. So you guys are really lucky to have such an amazing leader take you on this journey. So thank you so much for having me. So as Lindsay said, I am the director of training and field development at Beachbody. But the most important thing that you need to know about me is that I did exactly what you were doing. I come from your side of the fence. I actually had a team myself with a different company years ago. I've been in this industry for over 20 years. And I built my own team, just like you guys are doing. Every step that you've taken, I've taken it. I know what it's like to have people on my team, to be talking to people, to be growing a business. So every bit of advice that I give you, you may not want to hear it. I really try to keep it real. I don't give a lot of fluff. And if you are receptive, then I hope that you will take it from where it comes. And that is my heart, because I don't want to waste your time or my time. I want to give you the best I can possibly give you to help you be successful. So the tips I give you are based on my experiences, and it's up to you what you decide to do with the tips that I'm going to give you. So tonight I'm going to talk to you about recruiting. It is probably one of my favorite topics. I'll share with you that when I first got started in this industry, I said to my sponsor, do not expect me to recruit. I have no intention of doing it. I'm not interested in it. I just want to make some money. I just want to sell. Do not want to be a part of recruiting. And she was like, oh, totally fine. Whatever you want to do, it's totally fine. It's up to you. You don't have to build a team if you don't want to. She totally backed off. But I had a goal, and I still have this. And this was 92 maybe. I had, when I first got started, I should tell you, I'm a mom of 4. And when I first got started in the business, I had 3 kids that were 6 and under. So I had all these little kids, and this will help explain that my goal was I wanted to buy a Dodge Grand Caravan. So my husband was, sure, honey, you can buy whatever car you want as long as you pay for it. So I was like, okay, that was my goal. I needed to make $384 a month. And so I still have this Post-it note, but I had a little Post-it note that said $384, and I put it on my refrigerator. And that was my goal. After my first month in the business, I made our mortgage payment. And I realized, wait a minute, this is way bigger than I thought it was going to be. If this can help me and my family with the product I love, then it can help my friends as well. And I can help other people do this as well. And so after that first month, I realized the power we have in this industry to not only change lives with our products, but change lives with our business opportunity. And I became a top recruiter in my company. And rank advanced very, very quickly because I built a team. And people were attracted to the energy that I put out there because my intent was never about me. I was very successful and I wanted other people to be successful as well. I wanted my friends to make their mortgage payments. So that's what moved me ahead and why I totally embrace recruiting and why I love it. And it really, I don't know how you all feel about it. How many of you, on a scale of 1 to 5 with 1 being the very best, how many of you would rank yourself as number 1 in recruiting? How many would put yourself as a 5? Okay. How about a 3? Okay, you do have to participate. Yeah, see, not a lot of people rank themselves highly in recruiting. In fact, I think it's one of the things that holds people back. So my goal is to build your confidence in recruiting tonight because I believe that confidence is the antidote for rejection. You are going to get rejected over and over and over and over and over and over and over again in this industry. So you need to have confidence in order to survive. So my goal tonight is to give you some great tips that are going to help you build that confidence. So I hope you are ready to take some notes. After I go through what my tips are, I'm definitely going to be asking you for your takeaways and an action that you're going to take after the call. And I will open it up for questions. So just be thinking that as we get going. So the first thing that I want to talk to you about is, the first tip that I have for you really is that you have to have a vision. People are attracted to people who have a vision. Think about it. You think about religious leaders, political leaders, beachbody leaders. The ones who have a large following are the ones that have a clear vision, who share their story frequently, who share what their goals are. You know right where they're going. So you have to create that vision as well. Now, some of you might be saying, I'm too new, I don't really know, and that's a cop-out because you all come in with some kind of vision, right? Everyone here, right? Is there anyone on here that does not want to be successful? No. You all came to play. You all came to win. You want to be successful. That's where your vision begins. What does that success look like to you? Every single one of you has a different feeling about success, has a different vision for success. So write yours down. I love vision boards. They're great. I'm real visual. I love to see them. I like to hear when you guys are doing them. But if you really want to make it happen, write it down. What does the vision of your business look like? What does your life look like? If you were to look at yourself a year from today, what do you want to look like? And what I mean, I don't mean in the physical sense. You can include that, but really, what does your life look like? I bet if I asked every single one of you, if I said to you, I'm giving you $1 million, design your dream home, y'all could do it. You'd be able to say, oh, I would want a kitchen like this. I would want this granite in my kitchen. I would want 4 bedrooms and 3 baths. And I want a 3-car garage. You could define that perfect house. But if I challenge you, your perfect life, you hesitate. So I don't want you to hesitate anymore. I want you to write yourself a letter. I'm going to give you some little tasks as we get going, as we go through here. And one of them is I want you to write yourself a letter to yourself. And I want you to say, hey, Lindsay, you had an amazing year. You are now a 2-star diamond coach, and you are helping 300 people on your team live the life they are destined to live. You are making $1,000 a week with your business. You are running great challenge groups and helping people change their lives for the better with health and fitness. Your kids are successful in school. They are playing in the band and playing on soccer on the weekends. Your husband is happy and healthy. You were able to buy the car that you needed to replace your car with high miles. You were able to go on vacation this year. You see where I'm going with this? A year from now, who do you want to be? Write that letter to yourself, congratulating yourself on your year. That's how particular you need to be. That's the details you need to have. Now, some of you are sitting here thinking, gosh, what if something changes? I don't know. Don't let those questions hold you back from writing down what your perfect scenario would be. Yeah, there are going to be things that you change. In a house, when you're building a house, you decide, to change where you put a window sometimes. You decide on different cabinetry. That's okay. But you have to start somewhere. What is the style of your house? You can change the details as you go through your year, but really what is it, that vision that you have? So do that for yourself, do it for your business. It's where you need to start. Let me just tell you, if you don't know what your vision is, no one else does either. Okay? Your vision gives you confidence. No one can take it away from you. It's your own. Now, to build on that, my second tip is you need to be able to tell your story. You need to be able to tell your story. It's your story that attracts people to you. You're not selling Beachbody, you're selling you. People want to know about you. You need to be able to share it when the time is right. So, what does that look like? It's actually really easy to figure out where to start with your story. Again, I hear all the time, well, I don't have my transformation. I really haven't lost the weight yet. Not making enough money, whatever it happens to be. Those kinds of things, they just hold you back. So you start right from the moment you made the decision to join Beachbody. That's when your story begins. What made you decide to give Beachbody a try? As soon as you made that decision, your story began. So don't wait for something to happen. It's not going to happen. It already happened. So I want to give you some questions to answer that are going to make it easier for you to be able to know your story. First of all, what first drew you to Beachbody? What first drew you to Beachbody? Secondly, what specific things convinced you it was the right choice? What specific things convinced you it was the right choice? Third, what are your goals? And 4, what do you hope Beachbody will do for you? What do you hope Beachbody will do for you? All right, this is how easy it is. I'm going to give you an example. Off the top of my head, I'm going to give you a story that I'm going to make up right off the top of my head. I was first drawn to Beachbody because I really wanted to lose, 10 to 15 pounds. And one of my best friends was doing this 21-day fix challenge group. So I decided to give it a try and try Shakeology and see how it would work. What I found is that I was able to lose some weight. I had great support and accountability in the challenge group I was in. And so now what I want to do is help other people get the same results with the program I'm doing or one of the other programs that we have at Beachbody. And in the whole process, this is allowing me to make a little extra income so that I can pay for tap shoes and baseball uniforms for my kids. Did that take me, all of 30 seconds, if that? Can you relate to that story? Right? So you all have that. What first drew you to Beachbody? Well, I wanted to lose an extra 10, 15 pounds, and my best friend was doing a challenge group, doing this 21-day fix. I'd never heard of it, but I thought I'd give it a try. What convinced me it was the right choice? Well, you know what? I started losing weight. I felt great. And I thought, gosh, if I can do this, I can help other people do this too. And isn't it awesome? I get to make a little extra money to pay for, little Jimmy's baseball uniforms. That's always had to try to scrape together the money for. Here's my story. You all can relate to that. Maybe you have kids and you're trying to scrape together the money for music lessons, or you have a few extra pounds you want to lose. You know you'd love to get some accountability and support. I can relate to that. That's a real story. That's nothing like, made up, or it's not someone else's story. It's your story. People relate to you. So you need to be able to share it. So answer those questions. And make it real for you, and that's where your story begins. And now it changes, right? As you continue to grow and evolve, your answers to those questions are going to change and evolve. Your goals are going to change. The reason why you were attracted to Beachbody doesn't, but your goals and what you hope to achieve change, and that's okay. But people want to know the real you. Moving on, number 3 is recruiting is not something you do to someone. It's what you do for them. So let's spend some time on this. Have any of you ever been recruited to a sports team? Anyone play college sports? Anyone get recruited for a job in the past? My oldest daughter is a basketball player, and she was recruited to play basketball in college. It was a great thing. We were super pumped. We were really proud that someone was looking at her for their team and where she would fit on their team. It was a really great thing. That's exactly what you're doing. You're looking for great people on your team. And you know what? People are honored. If that's how you are looking at it, that's how they're going to receive it from you. And they're honored that you're looking for people to put on your team. So it is not something you're doing to them. It's something you have for them. I believe that our business opportunity is the best product that you have to offer. And if you don't believe that, then you are not going to be able to share it with other people very effectively. Is there any person on this Zoom conference call that regrets their decision to become a coach? Anyone? No. So why was recruiting you? Someone recruited you. That wasn't a bad thing, right? So it's not that way when you're looking for other people, when you're talking to other people about our amazing business opportunity. It all goes to your intent. And write intent in big letters in your notes. Intent drives the success of your business. If your intent is to help other people, that's exactly how they will receive it. If your intent is to get a Success Club point, to earn a trip, or a bobblehead, that's exactly how they're going to receive it. Your intent has to be purely to help someone else, to meet someone else's needs. And how are you going to find out how to meet their needs? Is you're going to have to listen to them. And I'm jumping ahead to another tip. You have to be a better listener than you are a talker. People think that the best salespeople are the ones that can talk to anyone. Wrong. The best salespeople are the ones that are the best listeners. The top recruiters are the best listeners. They are listening to all those cues of what their customers, their prospects need. And then they are fitting that need. You do not need to go out there and blast Beachbody. You do not have to tell everyone that you're a Beachbody coach. You only have to tell people that you can help them and find out what their needs are. That goes to your intent. That also goes to your listening skills. So often we get so excited to recruit because we're thinking about what it's going to do for us. Oh, I'm going to get to Emerald. Oh, I'm going to get to Diamond. And not thinking about them, that we don't listen. We spew. We spew all kinds of information instead of listening to what they need. And listening to what someone needs is simply asking questions. What's your story? My husband actually I live in California and here at in Los Angeles. And my husband lives in New York. And we've done this for 3 years long story, but I'm here because my daughter's a singer and actress. And so my husband is still in New York and he commutes about every 3 weeks out to LA, and which means he flies all the time. And my husband has mastered the ability to be a great listener and ask people, so what's your story? So what's your story? Where are you from? Simple question. Do you remember when I first went to college and there was that few, I think it's probably the first semester. You always, when you were meeting people, you always said, well, what's your major? You always ask that question, right? And then you find out all kinds of things about people. They ask you, yeah, well, what's yours? It's the same thing. Where are you from? What do you do for a living? Oh, do you like it? Are you happy there? It's all about asking questions and letting them tell you their story, becoming friends, and meeting their needs. Simple process when you really think about it. So the other thing too, I want you to just go back to, in particular with the recruiting, it's not something you do to someone. I want you to think about the fact that no one in your life understands our business like we do. They don't get that you can sponsor them. When you start a job at if you were to get a job at Target, just as an example, you couldn't then go to your best friend and say, hey, you want a job at Target? Come on, you can come with me today. Doesn't work like that, right? There's a whole process. You have to go through an interview. You have to be screened. You have to do the drug test. You have to do all of that. That's what the world knows about getting a job. But that's not our job. That's not our life. Anyone can do this. They can start up in 5 minutes with your mobile app on your phone. But most of the world does not understand that. So if you're not telling them that you can help them, they don't know. I can tell you so many times when I would be working my business and I would say something to someone about, hey, you want to join my team? And they would say, I can do that? You can sign me up? And I was like, yeah, because people don't get it. So are you assuming that people understand that they can join your team like right now? That you have a solution for them right now? I bet they don't. Every time I sponsored someone, I always asked them if they had a friend that wanted to do it with them. When I got into this industry, I did it with a friend. So I want to encourage you to make sure that every single time you sponsor someone, I want you to make sure you ask, do you have a friend that would want to do it with you? Because right away, that's going to let them know this opportunity is open to anyone in their life. There are no prerequisites. Isn't this I love? I love this industry. I'm sure you got this from me already, but I love this industry. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what your education is, what your background is. It is a level playing field, and it's open to anyone with any skill set, and they can be successful. So I love that about this industry. So make sure you give your brand new coaches permission to bring friends along with them into the coaching business. Okay, next tip. You have to have a list. 2 things that make you successful in this industry, and it's systems and understanding people. You got to be able to do both of them. I'm telling you how to understand people tonight, and I'm also going to tell you need to have a system. And that, for me, was a list. I kept a list of every person that I spoke to. any contact I had, any referrals I had. I kept a list. I had a notebook. I mean, this was before social media. This was before cell phones. Can you believe there was a time before cell phones? So I worked from a notebook, and I still, even today, if I was in the field, I would have a notebook because that's just my thing. I like to write it down. But I kept a notebook. It went with me everywhere. I left it at someone's house one time, and I bawled. I felt like I had left my arm at someone's house because that list, any name that I had, it had 5 years worth of names in there. And the reason why I think you need to understand how important this is, because you're going to go back to those names over and over and over again. When I was in the industry for, I don't know, maybe 7 years, maybe, it was when I had my 4th child. And so I had taken some time off to have her and everything. And I remember when I was like, okay, I got to get back in the swing of things. So I pulled out my notebook, and I think I probably sent out 500 flyers. Again, this was before social media. So I mailed postcards and flyers. And I mailed them out and said, guess what? A new Ruff baby has entered the world, and I'm coming back. So I made a real fun announcement, and I sent it out to all of these previous contacts. Some of them I hadn't talked to in 3 years, but they were in my list. And I tell you, guess what? I recruited one person right away who I hadn't spoken to in a year. It was a year prior that I had talked to her about the business. And she said, yeah, things have changed. My daughter's going to college now. I can do this. And it was all because I still had her name. I still had her contact information, and I was able to reach out to her. Just because someone says no to you now doesn't mean you just write them off altogether. You have something else to offer them. If they say, no, I'm not interested in coaching, you say, hey, no sweat, no problem at all. But would you like me to just keep you informed of products and tips, or, whatever you want to, whatever you fill in the blanks. And you keep their name in your database. And then when you send out a newsletter, or you send out an email, or you can go to those people and you can invite them. You can reach out to them. I'm a really big believer in the phone. I don't know why we don't use it so much anymore. It's all about picking up the phone and talking to people. I would pick up the phone and say, hey, Lindsay, I haven't talked to you in 3 months, but guess what? I was thinking about you today because I happened to see so-and-so, and I was like, oh my God, I haven't talked to Lindsay in so forever. How the heck are you? I know you were just about to have your 3rd baby. How's it going? I picked up the phone. People knew I cared about them because they heard it in my voice. It's a lot different than a private message or a text. People don't respond to those. They don't respond to emails. But guess what? They love to be communicated with, hearing your voice. People are starving for that right now. So get over your fears and pick up the phone and call people. I'm telling you, it works. So writing your list down is a habit that you want to create. It's what you're going to work from for the rest of your career. A list of people that you're going to talk to, that you're going to invite to your challenge groups, that you're going to invite to your business opportunity events. And you always want to have something to invite people to. You need an excuse. That makes calling people very easy when you have an excuse to call, right? So you need to have a reason to call. So you want to have an opportunity call to invite people to, or you want to have a challenge group. Always, always, always have something going on that you can invite people to. Okay, so now let's see. I think I'm on the 6th tip, and it's make the ask. This goes back to something I said earlier. People don't understand our industry. They don't know that they can ask you and have a new career in 5 minutes when you sign them up on the mobile app. They don't know that. You have to ask them. It would drive me nuts when my team would give out catalogs or send out emails, but then not actually ask people for the sale, or ask people for, do you want to join my team? Why don't you ask? Because you're afraid they're going to say no. And guess what? Most of them are going to say no. So what? Move on. It is not a reflection of you. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It's their stuff. But as soon as you hold back and refrain from making the offer, then it does become your stuff. Don't we all have enough stuff in our life? Do you need someone else's baggage? Let them keep it and have it. So make sure you are inviting them and you're asking them to become a part of your team or become a part of your next challenge group. And here's what I want you to think about. This is the analogy I've been giving people for years. Every time you go out to dinner, you get served a great meal, and your server comes back when they see that you're finishing your meal, and what do they ask you? Do you want dessert or coffee? Now, they're asking you to spend more money. They're asking you to pay for more. Now, are you offended? You expect it. They're giving you service. They have something to offer you. It's their job to offer it to you. If they didn't, they'd be fired for not doing their job, right? Do you think when you say no to, we're all set, can you just bring the check? Do you think the server goes into the kitchen and breaks down in tears and says, oh my gosh, I was rejected. They didn't want the coffee and dessert. No, because they're just doing their job. They're asking you for if you want more service from them. Guess what? You're going to pay more, right? You have to pay for the dessert and coffee, but you're not offended. You've been given the power to decide yes or no. And if she or he didn't offer you that, you'd be pretty upset. That, wow, they just decided, I guess I didn't want that piece of cheesecake. Well, how rude is that? You'd be annoyed. So that's what you do to other people when you don't offer them what you have to give them. And those are the challenge groups, and that's the business opportunity. You do not have the right to make those decisions for other people, so stop doing it. Go back to those people on your list, your family, your cousin who lives in 3 states over from you, or your best friend's sister-in-law, and that you have avoided, even though you think, God, they'd be good at this, but she's a dentist, or he makes a lot of money, he drives a really nice car, there's no way he would need this, or they're in really good shape, or no, they're in really bad shape. Stop making those decisions for other people and just ask them and let them tell you yes or no. Because look around on this Zoom call, people. You're all different. You all come from different backgrounds. You all have different reasons for doing this business. So who's to judge? Who's going to be the next top coach? Because every single one of you have the potential to do it. So quit judging other people and make sure you ask them. The best way to ask that I've found is I always try to think, how is this person going to fit on my team? What are they going to offer my team? What will they bring to the table? And then that's how I lead. So I would say, Lindsay, I have just enjoyed getting to know you over the last couple days. You are so much fun. You're such a great mom to your twins, and you have a heart of gold. I would love to have you join my team because I think you would bring so much of that genuineness and friendliness to my team. Have you ever thought about becoming a Beachbody coach? Because I would love to work with you. When was the last time someone told you that for a job, right? Yet you have the power to do that for someone else. So what about that person would make them a great fit for your team? So start there. Because guess what? It's not going to offend them. You're starting with a compliment. And if it's sincere and your intent is purely to help them, that is how they'll receive it. And if they don't, that's not on you. That's on them. Okay, where am I? Let's see. Be prepared for objections. It's my next tip. You're going to get them. Usually the first rejection you hear, the first objection you hear is not the real one. How many of you heard, well, I don't have time for that? Used to hear it all the time. That's really not the objection. Or I don't have money. I don't have money for that Shakeology. That's not the objection. Because guess what? We all know that there's a way to afford it. So what you need to do is ask the right questions to help you figure out what the real objection is so that you can fix it for them. Okay? So ask the right questions to find the real objection, to find the solution. Here's the example. We'll go back to, I don't have time. Oh, how much time do you think it takes? Because isn't time subjective? We all have a different understanding of it, a different view of it. So you need to ask them, well, how much time do you think it takes? And then they'll say to you, oh, well, you probably are working like what? This is your full-time job. People would say that to me all the time. Just because you're successful, people think you're working 60 hours a week. And in this industry, that is not the case. It doesn't have to be anyway. And so people would say that to me all the time. Well, gosh, this is your full-time job. I'm like, no, my full-time job is 4 kids. I do this part-time. It's very flexible in my life. There are weeks where I'm pushing for a goal and I may work full-time, but most of the time it's a part-time career for me. And so then I go back with another question. How much time do you have? Okay, so I just went back with another question. How much time do you have? Oh, well, geez, I don't know. I work full time. I got 3 kids, my husband, and I got this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, I get it. I do too. But how much time would you have to do this? Gosh, let me tell you, I could probably only have like an hour a day. So then that's where I can fit a need, right? Here's where you come up with a solution. And I would say, you know what? If I could help you fit this business in for your hour a day, would you want to give it a try? Now, if they come back with something else, that's generally the real reason why they're afraid. There's something, deeper than time. But I would just, try to meet that need. Oh, you have an hour a day or you have 10 hours a week. If I could show you how to make this business work with the time you have, would you be interested in joining my team? I'm going to give you another great way to help people with an objection, and and that's with feel, felt, found. I know how you feel. I felt the same way, but here's what I found. You can pretty much get every objection in the book. You can come up with a solution when you use that method. I just can't afford to buy the challenge pack in Shakeology. I know how you feel. I felt the same way, but what I found is within my first 30 days, I was able to pay back my investment, and I feel so much better, and I've been able to help a few more people in the process. I know how you feel. I felt the exact same way, but here's what I found worked for me. If you can't come up with a solution, then all you need to do is think of someone else on your team who has. Gosh, you know what? I didn't have to go through that, but there's Lindsay on my team. She has twins as well, and you know what I found is she's been able to have a great business with her twins because she's been able to fit it in around the things that she has going on. You know what I mean? Like, it's who on your team. That's why it's really important for you to all share each other's stories, to know what you've battled, what your challenges are, and where you come from, and why you're a Beachbody coach, because then that gives you the fuel, right, to combat those objections. It gives you the stories so that you can relate to other people and help your prospects feel like they're not alone. So make sure you guys are talking amongst yourselves and sharing amongst yourselves as well. Number 8, move on from no's. I touched on this just a little bit before. You're going to get a lot of them. If it's going to be a problem for you, you're in the wrong industry. Because guess what? You're going to get a lot of no's. There are a lot of people who are not ready for what we have to offer. And that's okay, right? Everyone's on their own journey. That's okay. They may not be ready now, but as you progress and they watch you, they may be ready later. So you're going to get a lot of no's. Your job and your mission is to find those people who are looking for what you have to offer. Now, almost every coach I talk to, if I ask them, why did you become a coach? It's because they'll tell me because they wanted to help more people. Well, guess what? If that's the case, then you have to be a great recruiter, because you're only one person, and what your one person can only influence a certain number of people. So the more people you bring in to help you with the mission means your reach goes infinitely spread across the millions of people that are out there looking for our help. So make sure that you don't let the no's knock you off your stride, because you're going to hear them from the people who just don't get it. I always just felt like sad for them because I got it. And the people on my team, they got it. So I always felt bad. I never let it get me down. It's not a reflection of you. There are way bigger things to feel bad about being rejected over than whether or not someone wanted a business opportunity you had to offer. We're not talking about, you're not asking people to refinance their house or give up their firstborn child. You're just asking them if they were interested in being a part of your team, which is great. So get over it. Otherwise, it's going to be a long, long road for you. I think that's it. I think those are the top tips that I usually like to share. So I want to just kind of close with a couple of things. There's never a perfect time to be a coach, because it's always now. There's no perfect time. There's no right or wrong to it. It's now. If you're waiting like, well, I'm going to wait till next month because there's going to be a challenge group then or whatever, then you are making a big mistake. The time is now. We are a company that is exploding. Look at the success stories that we see every single day. You can go on Facebook and see success stories. So every time you hesitate is a life that you're not helping. With people who are counting on finding a solution for a better life, and you have that solution. So don't take that responsibility lightly. Embrace it. It is the power you have to change lives is through your business opportunity. Not only are you changing lives physically, helping with these transformations, but you're helping them, their entire family. I remember, my kids, I have 4 kids now. I'm a grandmother. My oldest is going to be 27, and I have all the way down to a 16-year-old. And so my kids came up through my watching me build this business. And I believe firmly, how many of you have kids? Raise your hand if you have kids. I believe firmly that a lot of their success was because they witnessed my success and my mission to help people. So there are lots of people watching you, and you have a lot of power to transform lives for years and years to come. So embrace it and have fun with it. And remember what your intent is, and it's to really help people. And if you can do that, then that will bolster your confidence. So every single day, here's another tip I want you to do. I want you to take some time before you go to bed, and I want you to write down 3 things that you accomplished in your day. It can be you folded a load of laundry. I don't care. Whatever the accomplishments are, write them down. Start focusing on what you do well instead of your to-do list. Because if you can do that, that's going to give you some confidence. It's going to make it easier for you to share your story. It's going to make it easier for you to offer that dessert to everybody you come in contact with, and provide service with the intent to help change people's lives. So now what I would love to do is open it up, and I would love to hear from a couple of you what your top takeaways are from this call, and what you're going to do differently. What's something you're going to change tomorrow or tonight going into your business? Because I could spend 24 hours talking about recruiting. I absolutely love it. I feel very passionately about what an integral part of this business that it is. But if you don't do anything, if you sit there in your walls of fear and don't do anything with it, then I've wasted my time and you've wasted yours. You have to be prepared to take action. So I would love to hear what that action will be and what some of your takeaways are. And you can unmute your share.
You're all so go ahead.
No.
Okay. Who has some takeaways?
My favorite was that you're not asking me
What did you say?
Who is talking? I can't see who it is.
John Walls.
John. Okay. There you are, John. All right. So your takeaway was asking them how much time they think it takes?
That, and that you're not asking them to give up their unborn child.
Yeah, right? It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, guys. It's not. You are making it a big deal because you're afraid. You're afraid of the no. You're afraid of the rejection. You are looking for validation. And guess what? In the scheme of things, it's nothing. Great. What's something you're going to do differently, John?
Well, I work, as you had said, I work with a lot of doctors. I'm a nurse, so just going to get out of my head about that they can't do this business or couldn't do this business.
Awesome. Someone had made that judgment about you. You wouldn't be here today on this Zoom call. All right. I'm looking at some people posted in the chat. I have to get organized, and I'm going to make a list ASAP and form my system. Awesome. Just don't get caught up in creating tasks to do. Start taking action right away. Organize, organize, organize. Telling them I will help them to fit it in their time. Hey, who else? Don't be shy.
I love the letter to yourself idea, and then also the last tip that you gave to write down your 3 biggest accomplishments of the day, because I think that for me personally, I'm probably one of those that gets hung up on the things that I didn't get done versus thinking about, okay, what I actually did get done, and I love that idea. I think that's really going to help me.
Awesome. I'm going to add to that. I want you to all right now, I want you to think of 3 words that describe why you are a great coach. What makes you a great coach? What are those characteristics you possess to make you a great coach?
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Sorry.
The reason why I want you to do that is because I want you to look at it.
Can you repeat that?
I want you to write down 3 words that characterize why you are a great coach. Okay. If you don't know why you're a great coach, no one else is going to know. You have to believe it. You have to say, I'm a great coach because, I have a great transformation and I want to help people and I am energetic and I have great intent, or, whatever that is. If you know it and believe it and focus on what you're able to accomplish every day instead of what you need to get done, then you're going to be more confident. People will be attracted to that. Okay, so you guys have a lot of work to do. You're going to write letters, you're going to write lists, and you're going to report it back to Lindsay. Okay, who else has some takeaways?
You can't see me, which makes it even funnier because I'm like the black square. I don't know what happened, but this is Katie. And I just wanted to say, I think the biggest takeaway that I had was when you're recruiting people, it's not something that you're doing to them. It's something that you're giving to them and providing for them, because I think sometimes we do get so wrapped up in we have to add another coach. And while the bottom line is that we are there for them and providing them a really great tool for their life and their, their family and eventually a business and everything else, I think sometimes we get wrapped up in the immediate, which is adding a coach or getting Success Club points. And we have to put it back on providing them something. So that was a great takeaway for me.
I'm so glad you got that, because it is not about what it's going to do for you ever. As soon as it does become that, then that's when you lose. And then so do they. So it has to always be about them.
Hi, this is Quay.
Hi.
I think I'm going to work on making sure that my vision is clear to everyone, because it's very clear to me, but I'm not sure that everyone realizes why I became a coach and why I'm so passionate about this.
Awesome. That's great. You want to know a pet peeve I have? Is when I go onto someone's Facebook page, and I want you all to send me friend requests on Facebook. Lindsay can give you can go to Lindsay and get my name if you need to know how to spell it or whatever. But send me a friend request, and let me just tell you a pet peeve. If I go onto your Facebook page, I want to know who you are. I want to know how many kids you have. I want to know what you like. I want to know what you don't like. I want to know about you. I don't need to know everything Beachbody. I mean, yeah, I want to know that I want to see you drinking Shakeology every single day. I want to see that you're working out. Those things are inspiring, but I want to also know you. I want to be able to know what your vision for yourself is. I want to feel good when I go to your page. I want to feel inspired. Are you doing that on your social media right now? Or are you blasting Beachbody? If you were to go, Lindsay Matway was our top coach last year, and if you notice on her page, and you know what, Lindsay, you do the same thing too. I noticed on your page too. You can go to Lindsay's page and you see her posting about her family. You see pictures of her boys. You feel connected to her, and she shares it frequently, right? Because new people are looking at you all the time. So you have to keep going back and sharing your story and sharing who you are. Don't share it, 6 months ago and think, well, people know who I am. They don't. New people are looking at you all the time. So make sure your vision and your story is something that I could go onto your page and figure it out pretty quickly. All right. Thank you. Who else? What time is it?
About 10 till.
All right. Who else wants to share a takeaway?
I really enjoyed this is Crystal, and I just sent you a friend request. I really enjoyed your analogy with the waiter, the waitress asking, and would you like dessert and coffee? Because one of the biggest objections I get to the recruiting and everything is like, oh, I don't want to sell people and like all that stuff. And it's like, well, and I'm always trying to explain to them, it's like we're offering what you're already doing. They ask, it's not really that kind of selling thing. And I think that was a really fun way of thinking about it, because it's like, look, they obviously came to you or they're talking to you about it, and you're offering them a service, not badgering them with something they don't want. So
yeah, you know what?
That's our assumption.
That's awesome. A great takeaway. When people would say to me, well, I could never be a salesperson, I'd say, well, I don't want you as a salesperson. I want you as someone to help other people. My mission is to help as many people as possible. I'm not looking for someone who's just going to sell. I'm looking for someone who's going to help. I'm on a mission to help. And that's what I'm looking for. That's what I used to say. You can't sell? I'm not looking for someone who can sell. I'm looking for someone who can help. That's what I'm in the business of doing. But great takeaway. One more. Or a question. If you have a question for me, now is your chance, people, because I'm going to be shutting down here in a minute. Okay.
All right. Mike, okay.
Then that's it. Well, you know what? Let me just wrap up and say thank you so much for having me. I hope that you all left here with some great takeaways, a little bit more confident in going out there and having more people join your team. I hope you go back and pick up the phone and call those people that you have avoided speaking to because you were too afraid that they would say no. And you pick up the phone and you ask them. Every single no you get is like the foundation of the house that you're building. So don't be afraid of that. But I hope that this call's helped you. Please, 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 if you have the opportunity to go to a 3 Vital Behavior training, do it and get there. You learn a lot in those at that training. But don't ever hesitate to reach out and ask for support when you need it. The best thing that you can do is build your confidence in your business because that's going to make it easier for you to help more people. So do what you got to do. If you got a problem, you got to fix it. If you got something that's holding you back from not believing that this is the best opportunity out there, then fix that doubt. I had doubt in the very beginning when I started this business in the industry 20 some years ago. I had doubt. I didn't believe it was a valid business opportunity, so I just wanted to make money. I fixed it. I fixed that doubt. And if you have a shred of it, a shred of doubt that this business isn't worth it, that Shakeology is not worth it, that these programs don't work, then people will pick up on that. They will sense it faster than anything else. So if you have anything that's holding you back, you have to fix it. And when you do, there'll be no stopping you. I guarantee it. So be the CEO of your business, take control, and then help other people come in and take control of their lives as well. So thank you so very much. Thank you, Lindsay, for having me tonight. And again, I hope you found this helpful and took lots of notes. And it's recorded, so you can go back and listen to it and share it with other people on your team. So thank you, and have a blessed night. And I'll see you all at Summit. Now, I will not recognize you. So when I see you at Summit and events, you have to come up and say hi to me. Especially since a lot of you don't look like you do at Summit, like I see you on Zoom calls. Don't see a lot of ponytails and sweat clothes at Summit. So I'm always like, okay. So please be sure to come up and say hello. It makes my day. So anyway, thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. And again, Lindsay, thank you so much for having me.
Sure. Thank you so much. So much. This was awesome. I appreciate your time.
You're more than welcome.
In 2 weeks, right? Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yes.
I'm going to be in Phoenix in 2 weeks. So maybe, is anyone on this call going to be there? Or any of you?
We have some, I don't know if they're on the call or if they have to catch the recording, but there's I'm working through Arizona right now.
All right. Well, maybe I'll see you guys at different. I'm going to be in 3 regions over the next couple months. So awesome. If I don't see you in Phoenix, maybe I'll see you in one of the other places. So thank you so much. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.